اندونيسيا هي دولة في جنوب آسيا وتعتبر أكبر دولة جزر في العالم، وهي من أكبر الدول الإسلامية من حيث التعداد. تألف المنطقة المعروفة الآن بإندونيسيا من عدة ولايات بعضها كبير وبعضها صغير. جاء الإسلام إلى إندونيسيا مع التجار المسلمين من الهند والجزيرة العربية، وقد انتشر الإسلام تدريجياً بين الإندونيسيين. لقاءنا هيكون مع سعادة سفير دولة إندونيسيا السفير لطفي رؤوف، والحقيقة النهاردة هيكون عندنا لقاء مختلف، هنتعرف على العادات والتقاليد أثناء شهر رمضان الكريم. كل سنة وحضراتكم طيبين. Welcome to our program, Excellency, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
It's an honor to be here again and then to meet you.
First of all, we have a great relation between Indonesia and Egypt and the diplomatic field. Please, we want a brief history about this item.
Shukran jazilan, ahlan wa sahlan. Again, I would like to take this opportunity to say Ramadan Kareem. Inshallah, we will have a very happy Ramadan this time. After previous Ramadans, we could not do a lot of things because of COVID. Thanks God. Alhamdulillah, this year will be exciting moment for us to have a fully enjoyment of Ramadan, especially me, who has been in these countries for over 2 years. So there will be the third Ramadan for me.
Excellency, Ramadan is different in Egypt, so you joined Ramadan with us last year, and tell us about your experience in Egypt about Ramadan.
The traditions of Ramadans between Egypt and Indonesia more or less similar. But of course, as I say, I wish I could have full enjoyment of Ramadan last year and a year before. But unfortunately, we could not have it because of the corona. It is therefore this year, again, we will welcoming Ramadan with the full joy and a lot of excitement, because we're going to have it in a more relaxed and open atmosphere. So we can do more than what we did last year. We are so grateful to be invited and participated in the programs in celebrating Ramadan. We call it the Shaharat Ramadani, that involving our community, where we share our cultures with our friends, Egyptian people here, because you know Ramadan is the month of sharing.
Excellency, today we have a different way to celebrate Ramadan. We are cooking together today, right?
Yes.
And you are the chef today.
With your
I'm the assistant. I'm the assistant of cooking today. I will help you in everything.
Thank you.
Shukran. And I hope I will be great in cooking Indonesian food.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So if we're talking about Ramadan, there's a lot of traditions, a lot of kind of foods in Indonesia. As you know very well, Indonesia is consisting of almost around 400 ethnicity with a different tradition, different culture, including, of course, foods and others, you know. But if we're talking about food, not only the food for ourselves, the food also for sharing. I know here, I pass by in many places where people coming out sharing their food. They call it here
Maidatul Rahman.
Maidatul Rahman. This is something also the tradition we have in Indonesia. If you happen to pass by in somebody else, by the time of breaking fasting, you will be invited to come over to break your fasting, even just a glass of water or 3 pieces of dates. This is the values of, you know, of sharing foods and other things that we have during Ramadan, because this is the month where we can do a lot of good deeds, because this is all thing we believe as ibadah. This is the essence of the Ramadans, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with a lot of form as much as ibadah they came, because these were good blessing with the abundance of reward.
يستقبل المسلمون رمضان بتقديم عناية خاصة لجميع المساجد بالدولة، خاصة مسجد الاستقلال وهو أكبر مساجد إندونيسيا.
Excellency, do you have special drinks during Ramadan?
We have a lot of kind of foods, including the one that I'm going to also share by doing a little bit cooking practices, cooking demonstration with your help. If we're talking about food, Indonesian mainly the staple foods are rice. So one of the kind of rice I'm going to cook, like here in Egypt, I saw also foods that made from rice with mixed with the ingredients and also meats. That's what I'm going to have also, but we're going to wrap it with the banana leaves. So this is the food. Only one of those that I'm going to also share how to prepare. Number two, about drink. Like in many places, we have a particular drinks, either from traditional way of doing it, and also the ingredients coming from the soil, the plants. As again, Indonesia is very rich in terms of biodiversity, where we can produce a lot of plants that also can be produced for drinking. One of example, for instance, they're very famous to us is the coconut tree.
Coconut drink.
Coconut. I mean, if you're talking about coconut, still young. The juice of coconut is very sweet, and then you can mix with some others, brown sugar, put the lemons in this, and then put ice and many other ingredients. That's the first time I think our people, when they break their fasting, iftar, the first things to do drink the sweet thing. But mostly also people in Indonesia, thanks for your dates. We buy a lot of dates from you. The first thing to do to break our fasting is to drink a water and then 3 pieces of dates. So you can imagine if let's say 30% of 270 million people eat dates every day for breaking the fast. You can imagine how many. This is where I think can explain why we import more dates from Egypt. And number two, another things we have from we call it juice. We have a lot of tropical juices. There are two kind of meats. The younger coconut, we have the softer meat inside, and the sweeter is it. The older of the coconut meat, that's produce a lot of oil. A lot of coconut milk. So normally we have the young coconut. We can drink it in the fresh way, or we can mix with others, such as we can mix with the pandanus leaf, put the brown sugar, we can put also a lime juice, and even we can put syrups. And then put the ice cube.
Ice cube.
Ice cube.
Okay,
Laziz.
so it's Laziz.
After that, we didn't go straight to the big meals. We did our Maghrib Salah first, and then after that sit down for a while, and then get our big meals. Rice, chicken, meat, fish, you name it. It's a different place of Indonesia, have a different way of cooking.
We can start cooking together, Excellency. I hope I will be a good assistant for you.
I believe so, but I also one day want to try to cook Egyptian, because I used to have a good hobby for cooking, but since the times moving on, apparently this habit getting also decline from time to time. But I occasionally come back to the kitchen, do this my hobby. Where this hobby is coming from? Because I used to study overseas, abroad, about over 30 years ago. And normally in a method to survive, you have to cook by yourself. From there on, we can experiment different kind of recipe. This is where you start to enjoy cooking. But again, you know, the more times goes by, and then this kind of things start to be also declining.
Okay.
But occasionally, I return, I visited the kitchen to do some cooks.
So today we are going to cook together our iftar.
Yes, I will. As I say, if we want to cook every kind of foods in Indonesia, it takes up probably months to finish it. So. Because of the time constraint, I prefer to choose one of the very heavy meals that consisting of rice.
Okay.
That inside the rice there is a shredded chicken with mixed with the different ingredients, spices, and they wrap up in a banana leaf. That also consuming a little bit times because some process we need. Because cooking is an art. It's related to feeling.
Sure.
If you don't have a good feeling when you are cooking, you know, the result sometimes is not very good. It can only, you know, fill
you
up
have to cook with love.
Yes, with feeling. You know, because there's an art.
Okay.
Like a music, you know, there's adjustment here and there because there are a lot of ingredients involved. Once you put a lot of salt in there, it's going to be salty. When you put more this one, it's the balance.
ومن مظاهر الشهر الكريم أيضاً يقوم الشباب أيضاً في إندونيسيا بأعمال تطوعية من تحضير موائد الإفطار العامة.
Now that I will be your assistant today and you are going to give me the recipe of the
it's an honor.
Food.
This is the way to connect people.
Okay.
Food, music,
and culture.
Connect, yes.
Food, soft power.
Music, it's a part of the culture.
Okay.
It's the universal language to connect people. So it is therefore, it is an honor for me. This is another way to have this kind of practices where we can understand each other, where we can have mutual understanding in our respective culture, including through cooking practices. So when we have this exercise, we are not professional, of course, but this is the way to connect and also to bring you to know a little bit how Indonesian food is processed, how delicate sometimes, how, you know, easy sometimes to prepare food, but as long as, you know, we do it in the good feeling, this is where we can share the experience. I mean, not only in terms of science and technology we can share our knowledge, but through food, through how to call it meals, the cooking demonstration, we can learn each other. Probably today you can involve helping me in how to prepare Indonesian food, and one day, because that's my hobby, I also would like to practice how to prepare Egyptian food. But I know for sure one, kaware. I already tried kaware.
You tried it?
I've already one
you tried kaware?
Yeah, I already kaware.
But you can cook it?
I cook it
because it needs a lot of purifying and everything.
Yes, and very nice. Laziz.
Laziz.
Because we have this kind of
you have
in Indonesia.
It's very good for knees.
Coming from the tendon, not the real meat, but from the tendons, especially from the lamb legs or even cow legs. There's a kind of process we have to make it soft. And then apparently, if you eat it, you forget to stop. This is the problem for all.
So we don't have to kawera today.
No, unfortunately, next time.
So we can start our cooking now. Okay.
انتظرونا في جسور كي نتعرف على الطعام الإندونيسي في الحلقة القادمة مع السفير لطفي رؤوف.